Hello, I'm Nicholas Levesque, Media Services Coordinator for the town of Merrimack, and welcome to Talk of the Town, a program where we focus on the individuals who help make Merrimack a great place to live, work, and play. And today, we're going to put a spotlight on public safety. And I'm so happy to be joined by my friend and colleague, the Chief of Merrimack Police, Brian Levesque. Thanks for being here, Chief.
Well, thanks for having me, Nick.
Brian, you grew up in Merrimack. You graduated from MHS in 1996. Do you have childhood memories?
That was a long time ago, but
It was the 90s.
I can tell you that, I remember as a teenager, doing sports as well, but also driving around with friends aimlessly, bouncing all around town to meet up with some other friends, just to listen to music, play basketball. Of course, King Cone was always a popular trip after school. Back then, a lot of us attended most of the football games, so really attended basketball games as well. But yeah, Merrimack's definitely a changed place since I was a kid.
Certainly. And what drove you to pursue a career in law enforcement?
It sounds corny, Nick, but I always wanted to help people. That was my big passion, is to always help. I was always the one that was helpful around the group of friends. And believe it or not, me starting to watch Chips at a young age really got me into police work. And for people that don't know, Chips is California Highway Patrol with Eric Estrada and John. And
Punch.
Yep, it was a good show. So that was really what really got me into police work. Now I know that police work's nothing like that.
No, probably not.
I think it was more like these guys who wanted to ride around on the motorcycles and look at themselves in the mirror.
Right. Was that reruns on Nick at Night?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
Cool. And you've now been with the Merrimack Police Department since 1998. So you were just 2 years out of high school. I presume you were in college.
Yeah. So back then we had a program called Special Officers, which is basically part-time officers on call. So I was fortunate enough to be hired when I was a junior. I went to the part-time academy and then began shift work once I cleared my FTO. So it was difficult at times going to college because I would get calls at 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 at night to come work at the midnight shift. So next morning I would have to go to school, sit through a humanities lecture, hopefully not fall asleep, take a nap in the library between classes. But back then they sort of dangled the carrot in front of you because they knew that you wanted a full-time position. So you felt really obligated to come in every shift you're called for.
So this was a program at St. A's.
No, this is a program at the PD.
Oh, right.
The town of Merrimack.
This was while you were at St. Anselm.
Correct. Yeah, I was getting my criminal justice degree and up there. So
you graduate Merrimack, you go to St. A's, you're hired as a part-time police officer in Merrimack while at St. A's. You never really left Merrimack.
No, it's funny. I've been here my whole career, and I was fortunate enough to get hired right after I graduated college to begin my full-time career here. And like I said, I've been very fortunate at the PD to, rise to the rank that I have.
Let's talk about the growth in the community since you did grow up here, and now you're the police chief. What's it like seeing the growth in the town? What's the differences?
It's quite fascinating if we remember back from when we were kids growing up here, or even just high school. To see the growth of businesses, the mall, cinemas, the growth of apartment buildings, just the road infrastructure. The strip from Continental Boulevard to 101A, that was never there before. You used to take Camp Sidra Road and go on Tinker Road, which was a road that was bumps, and it was just crazy. And so it's definitely, the town has proven in infrastructure-wise, but it's grown tremendously with the population as well.
What's a common misconception about whether it's the Merrimack Police Department or policing in general?
That we like to give tickets.
Right.
It's just,
okay.
None of our officers enjoy giving tickets. Matter of fact, we're rather on the light side of getting tickets. I think it's about a 1 to 10 ratio. For every one ticket, there's 10 warnings out there. But people need to realize in the community that if we're not out there doing motor vehicle enforcement, then the roads aren't safe.
Let's talk about road safety. If there's any one thing you could urge residents about driving and road safety, what would that be?
Watch your speed and slow down. Be aware of your surroundings. I think everyone, who's watching this program, will relate being on the highway and seeing cars just bomb by you, acting recklessly. So, speed truly does kill, and that's why our officers are out there enforcing speed limits to make sure that our roadways in the town of Merrimack are safe.
And wear a safety belt.
Yes.
Right?
It's such a given nowadays that,
right.
Everyone should be wearing their seatbelts as well.
There's programs at the police department that the public may not know about. I know one of them is child safety inspecting car seats, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
So we have officers certified in installing child safety seats. For the non-parents out there, it's when you first have that big responsibility of putting your future baby in a child seat, you want to make sure you do it right. And some of these car seats are pretty elaborate, so we have someone that's certified that will actually either make sure your install is correct, or we'll actually install it for you. And we do that with a lot of grandparents' cars too. Grandma is going to be watching the child. We'll put the car seat in for them to make sure it's done correctly.
Are there other programs that the police department has that the public just may not know about?
Yeah, I think one of our underutilized, those two programs that was underutilized. One is our Good Morning Caller, where there's a lot of people in town that don't have family around, and they can call into the PD by 10 a.m. to make sure they're okay. It's just a simple dialogue with a dispatcher, and it's funny because these dispatchers actually become their friends, and they want to hear more about their days. So that's available to anyone that is a senior, or they might have health issues that they want to call in every day. And then also we have a house check program where we'll check vacant houses. So if someone goes on vacation, you give us their information, emergency contact, what vehicle should be there, what lights to be expected to be on, and we'll go around and physically check your property and make sure no one's broken in.
Awesome, and that's something that you generally do year-round?
Correct, yep.
Are there any partnerships or events coming up that you're really excited about?
Yes, we have a lot of partnerships with the different community groups, but just formed a new partnership with the U.S. Attorney's Office where they're going to come to town and present to our elderly population or anyone that wants to attend about various scams and frauds out there. We are inundated with new scams almost every day, and most of the scams do target the elderly population, so we want to make sure we provide the information for the community so they don't get a loss of your money. We also have our National Night Out coming up. That happens every August. It's a great partnership with Parks and Recs, and we have a lot of community groups that come in. We have food, games, sometimes a movie, music. So it's a lot of fun. It's good to interact with the officers.
I've gone to National Night Out. It's always a good time. There are, like you said, there's music. Sometimes it caps off with a movie, and there's food. I'm actually getting hungry thinking about National Night Out. What's your favorite food, Brian?
Oh, my favorite meal would be a nice steak, air-cut verts, and a nice baked potato.
What was that second one?
The verts, the thin green beans, you know?
That's right, thin French cut, thin green beans. Okay.
Yeah, so that's might be my ideal meal.
And do you travel for food?
I'll travel for food.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite foodie destination?
Not really. I like to keep up on...
You'll eat anywhere.
I will. I like to keep up on what's being popular, what's being mainstream, and then hopefully find some hole in the walls myself with my wife and family.
Great. And do you have a favorite travel destination, or do you have a kind of a bucket list?
So we travel the Maine quite often, the coast of Maine. But I'll tell you what, the one place I want to go is just take a month off and travel all over Europe. So maybe when I retire one day, me and the family can do that.
Gotcha. And you have a favorite season or a favorite holiday?
Christmas, hands down. I mean, Thanksgiving's good because you gather with family, but Christmas is always good.
Sure. Brian, last question. What energizes you most about being with the police department and being the chief of police here in Merrimack?
Knowing that we have positive relationship with the community at large. You know, I'm very proud of all of our staff, whether you're sworn officers or civilian staff. They do a phenomenal job for this community. And being the chief, I have a great sense of pride knowing that they do a good job. And I'll tell you what, when I get notified by a random citizen I see, whether it be at a coffee shop, get an email, get a phone call, talking about an officer's specific actions and how it impacted them, how great of their job they did, that makes me really proud. And that energizes me, knowing that to going to my position as a leader of the organization. It's really tough to, I'm not going to say I'm not a cop anymore, but I'm not out there enforcing laws and stuff like that. But knowing there's a greater good that we're providing this service to the PD, to the town, is really important to me, and I think we do a fantastic job at it.
I think you do too, Brian, and I want to thank you and your staff for all of the hard work that they do and everything that you provide to the community. So thanks for being here today.
I appreciate it, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for watching Talk of the Town, a program that puts the focus on the individuals who make Merrimack a unique place to live, work, and play. To watch more episodes of Talk of the Town, download the Merrimack TV app from your device's app store, and we'll talk to you later.